Good morning once again, and you are still watching Sunrise at Sea here on CTV. Welcome to Twitter Jabs 2, and we are following up with the conversation of World Cup, Rugby World Cup Sevens 2022. And this comes at a time after Uganda Rugby Cranes won and beat Zimbabwe over the weekend to qualify for the World Cup as well as the Commonwealth Games. My name is Agi Owase, and joining me at the center of this conversation is the Vice Captain of Rugby Cranes, and that is Ian Munyani. Good morning.
Morning, Agi.
And thank you so much for joining us on Sunrise.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, I'd like to ask you to start with how does it feel to be champions of Africa in regard to rugby, as well as qualifying for the World Cup 2022?
I would say it still feels very unreal. It's quite overwhelming, especially in front of our home fans. The other time we had the Africa Cup here, that was 2017.
Yes.
Not very many people knew a lot about rugby. There was less Twitter, so less social media, but this year was quite exceptional. It was very overwhelming.
Yes.
So very many fans. Some are watching rugby for the first time just because of social media. It still feels unreal, I would say that.
I wanted to be a part of, the celebrations on Sunday and also part of the game. I was unable, but I did see most of the reactions on social media, and people are very excited. And just like you said, some people were watching rugby for the first time. They didn't know a thing or two, but it's great to actually see, our team winning. So I'd like to ask you, during this journey, what are some of the challenges that you have faced before getting, to the final, before getting to this victory? Could be financial, any challenges that you have overcome along the journey?
Basically, we started this journey in January. That was mid-January. Of course, we're a team of, say, 12 or 14 players, because most of the players had other commitments.
Yes.
But as we continued, some of the players started being called in. But I would say it wasn't so difficult, because everyone knew the goal at hand. We had the union coming in for us. We had some coaches from South Africa. They came through. Then we also went for camps in South Africa, which made us better players. We came out to change players. And I think that's why the display over the weekend was overwhelming to some fans. They were in shock, like, hey man, Uganda also is this good. Some were even asking, is Uganda this good, or the opponents are not that good?
Yes.
But I would say the opponents are quite good. But Uganda is a much more improved side. All started, I think they would see it from last year when we went for the Safari Sevens.
Yes.
We came out 5th, and yeah, that's basically it. But the challenges have not been so many. Yeah.
And on the side of the opponent teams, it could be Kenya, could be Zimbabwe, and there are any challenges that you met? Or maybe there are certain teams that you were very scared of, like this one, we don't know how we're going to go about
this. Yes. Coming into this tournament, we knew the very competitive sides. We knew Zimbabwe was one of them, Madagascar, unfortunate for them, then Kenya. Basically, it was those three sides, and a bit of Namibia. But I don't think they were that good this tournament.
Yes.
But basically it was Madagascar, Kenya, and Zimbabwe. Yeah.
And in the last 27, before we get to the other challenges that I would like you to highlight, in the last, the 2017, the last time Uganda hosted the Cup, it was actually Zimbabwe that Uganda beat back in the day. So what is it about Uganda and Zimbabwe? Are they the most, not qualified, but the most competent teams in Africa?
I would say, of course, there's South Africa.
Yes.
That one is a top-tier team. Then there is Kenya. Kenya are on the Rugby Sevens World Series.
Yes.
They're quite a competitive side. Then in 2017, when we played Zimbabwe in the final, I think that year Kenya did not participate, because it was also qualifiers for Commonwealth and World Cup. Yeah, so this is ideally the second time we are qualifying for the Rugby Sevens World Cup. Then 2018, it was also in Tunisia. Zimbabwe, it's also quite very competitive. It also reached the final. But then 2019, we played the finals with Kenya. So I would say Zimbabwe, yes, is quite very competitive. Then Kenya also. Yeah.
Okay, let's focus on the other challenges. About the ground, because it was on Sunday and this is a rainy season, as we can see. Like it rained and drizzled this morning and the other day as well. And it did rain on Sunday when the match was taking place. Isn't that a challenge in any way when it rains and it's muddy and it's very wet? Is it a challenge on your side?
Yeah, it's quite a very big challenge because now the passes are going to go slower. Everyone has to take care of the ball because ideally the ball is very slippery. So everyone, the game is quite slower. Slower than it should be. You know, usually a sevens game is very fast, so quick passes and all that. But now, given it's rainy, it's quite very difficult to execute such passes. Yeah.
Yes.
But to our advantage, I mean, it has been raining in Uganda, so ideally, most of our training sessions in the morning have been wet sessions because you go for training and it has rained. But I mean, you have to keep training. So I think that's why you would see in the tournament we did not suffer as other teams because I think we're used to the conditions, and yeah, it was hopefully to our advantage.
Okay, now let's talk about, we are now headed to the World Cup, yes, that will be taking place in South Africa later this year. What preparations are underway in regard to that?
I would say the fact that we started the journey in January, it's going to be a continued process because the Commonwealth Games are in late July. They start on 28th July. Then the World Cup is in September. So ideally, what is on board is let's first finish the league because we have the local league.
Yes.
There are say 2 games left. So after those 2 games, of course they're giving players a rest. So probably we shall resume after say 2 to 3 weeks, and we continue with the training so that we are properly prepared for what? For the Commonwealth Games. Yeah.
Okay, and the World Cup as well later
World
on.
Cup as well later.
Okay, and I'd like to ask you, has the Ministry of Education and Sports come or chipped in any way to be of help to the Rugby Cranes in preparations for the Commonwealth Games that are coming up and the World Cup that is coming up?
Obviously through NCS, they chip in a little bit, but we're just hoping this time round. I'm very glad that social media came. Twitter is all over the place, and I've seen quite a number of government officials doing the tweeting and all congratulating us.
Yes.
But I just really hope it can come out into extra funding, because ideally, basically that's what we need, yeah? More funding to take Uganda to the next level. Yeah, hopefully Ministry of Education comes in more, other stakeholders, State
and the
House,
National
everywhere.
Council of Sports as well.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I would like to know from you, what are some of the remarkable moments during the competition that you know, and those convenient moments, because we've talked about the challenges before the remarkable moments. Yeah. So what are those remarkable moments? I
would say it was the crowd. You know, when you're always running onto the pitch, yeah, and everyone is
very excited and happy.
So very much. The vuvuzelas are blowing. Like, it was, I would say, the fans brought it to us. They really helped us, because I think throughout all the games, yes, there wasn't any one point where we were, say, down or the other team was leading. It was just Uganda always through to the top, always. And then I would say that semi-final against Kenya, quite very remarkable, because we know Kenya is quite a very competitive side. Team, yes. It came in as the top seed, because we came in second. So meeting them in the semi-final and winning, I would say we had one hand on the trophy. It was quite remarkable, yeah.
How would you rate? Would you now talk about, you know, rugby is now a prominent game in this country? Because back in the day, even lately, it's all about football, it's all about netball and other games, but rugby seems to be an underdog or something. Can you now assure us, or in any way say that we are now, you know, making it as a rugby team? You are making
I think why rugby was still on the low, because it all comes down from the lower stages, like the schools it's played in. I mean, soccer is played in every school,
Yes.
But now rugby is say played in the traditional schools. So the guys that pick up rugby are these same people from traditional schools. So if you haven't gone to say a traditional school, or there are other few schools that are picking it up, say Makos, Seta High, Namgongo, but it's all because guys from traditional schools, like say, go into these schools and introduce the sport of rugby. But currently, I would say now we have attracted a very big crowd, and we are hopeful that it's going to be a very big sport. And the fact that we're a winning team, we are hopefully going to attract more people, and more people understand the game.
Okay. Yeah. Now, talking about, we are very, by the way, excited that we are finally making it. Our Rugby Cranes are making it. But there's been critiques, especially on social media, talking about the reason that rugby has been an underdog or on the low, like you talked about, is the fact that especially when you go to away games, it's because there are no fans on the other end compared to here when you are at home. So do you think that the support from away on the other side when you are playing abroad, does it affect the games in any way? Does it affect your performance in any way?
I mean, yeah, of course, if you're playing away and there are no fans at all, because I would say 2019 when we went to South Africa for the Africa Cup games, it was basically the players there.
Yes.
I mean, of course, the mood is low. The mood is
it's
quite
low.
very low. Then also in Tunisia 2018,
yes,
there weren't also fans, so it's quite challenging to play without fans, even if they're from other countries. I mean, I'm pretty sure that most of the countries that played over the weekend were excited and overwhelmed by the Ugandan fans. I mean, they were supporting everyone. Of course, Uganda was the main, but I mean, they were supporting everyone just for the game of rugby. Yeah, they were enjoying the game of rugby, and they were supporting everyone. But yeah, it's quite difficult to play without fans. Yeah.
Yes.
I think the fans bring up the vibe. You get excited, and
the
that
energy,
adrenaline
definitely,
rush.
yes.
So yeah, basically it's difficult to play without fans.
Okay, now how can the home fans, just like myself, because now I think I'm a new rugby fan. So how can their home fans, just like myself, be of help as you prepare, for the World Cup in any way?
I would say it all starts from our local leagues.
Yes.
So basically, unfortunately, there are only 2 games left, but you can still come through, watch those local games, because the league is ending, I think, in 2 weeks here. But of course, more social media is needed. You just have to keep posting and talking about rugby, and I guess that will be very much of help, and we shall know that very many people are behind our backs and are supporting us.
Okay, we are now really focusing on the Rugby Cranes. It's a good thing, but let's talk about the ladies rugby, the rugby team as well. How are they? After the win, do you think it has, helped them in any way, inspired them in any way, to go for it? Because I feel like, are they being supported in any way? Just like, you're getting all that support as the Rugby Cranes.
I would say yes. There are, of course, I think our win has quite overwhelmed the fan base. So basically, I think some people do not know that even the Lady Cranes have their African Cup right now this weekend. They're playing in Tunisia. But I'm urging everyone to please support also the Lady Cranes. I think ours is done and dusted. We have won.
Done and dusted, really? We still have a long way. I feel like we have a long way to go with the Commonwealth Games and the
regards
World Cup.
to the Africa Cup.
Okay, yes.
So I guess we can now chip in and support the Lady Cranes. Unfortunately, they are playing outside of Uganda, so we cannot give them that much support. But tweeting and anything on social media will be of help to them.
Yes.
But they are playing this weekend in Tunisia, Saturday and Sunday. But I guess they've also had great preparations. I think they've been in camp for like, say, 2 months. They've been training for, say, 2 months.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll also qualify for the Rugby World Cup sevens. and say also the Commonwealth. We're just hoping for the best, and we really wish them luck.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, I think rugby is now getting popular, especially on social media, especially on Twitter. Even people who didn't know a thing about it, you're now retweeting. Congratulations to Uganda, our Uganda rugby team. And people, we understand, people usually come in at the end when there's a win. You understand? So what message, what special message would you give out, especially to Ugandans? How can they, come in and support, even along the stages? Because even when you go for the World Cup, you will have those group stages. And definitely the support from home will be very fundamental along the journey. So what message would you give them? Would you give us?
Of course, the message out there is don't put off the leg of the gas. Just keep supporting us. We're very happy that rugby has attracted very many people. We are glad that we are growing as a sport, and hopefully for the Commonwealth Games and Rugby World Cup. Of course, they're going to be aired on, say, DSTV or any other platforms. Yeah, you can always give us the support through the tweets and those exciting comments. But yeah, we really
they go a long way in boosting your morale.
Yeah, very much.
Okay, and as we wind up the conversation, I'd like to ask you, do you have any final remarks or message that you would want to give the country as you prepare for the World Cup and the Commonwealth Games? Your final remarks.
Yeah, my final remarks are thank you very much for the fans for coming out over the weekend and supporting us. You were quite instrumental to our win. And then moving forward, just kindly requesting government to chip in a little more. Ministry of Education, State House, National Council of Sports.
Yes.
Yeah, all of them. I just hope the sport is going to get better starting from now on. Because I guess we have built a platform from where we can start.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations once again from me and CTV upon this win. It's a very good win and a very good thing for our country. And moving forward, we are starting to support our teams back at home. Thank you so much for joining us on Sunrise at Sea.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well, that has been Mr. Ian Munyani, and that is the Vice Captain of the Uganda Rugby Cranes. And we've been deliberating or talking about the conversation of the World Cup 2022, Rugby World Cup 2022, that will be coming up later on this year in July. Well, that winds up the conversation that we had for you here on CTV. Keep watching Sunrise at Sea and don't blink.